back to the Hit Squad, Chad Range alongside Jesse Finney. Now we're going to be tackling what happened over the weekend. Shamrock Fighting Championships, Havoc. It was a fantastic night of fights, wasn't it, for you?
Oh, it was good. It was an exciting evening. I tell you what, it was one of the fights that I've been really looking forward to was Aaron Highfill versus Tyler Clausen. Tyler Clausen's a tough kid out of Central Illinois, and Aaron Highfield's a kid to be. You're going to remember that name, folks, because the kid is on his way. He's going to be a superstar here in St. Louis in the professional ranks eventually.
You talked about it. Matt Frazier of the KnuckleJunkies.com in recap of what happened at Shamrock Fighting Championship. This is what he wrote. The Aaron Highfield buzz continues to grow. The young welterweight out of Finney's Hit Squad and Next Level MMA came out ready to throw down with Tyler Clausen, and throw down he did. Highfield worked out the clinch for most of the first round before getting enough space to land the big shot. The win improves Highfield to 11-1, and while making a pro debut seems imminent, Highfield says he has a lot more amateur boxing to do first.
Smart, and and here's the thing, very smart, because you don't rush in the pro ranks. You rush in the pro ranks, you get one shot at it. You go in there and you start screwing up, you're done. I mean, like, realistically, you got a long way to go. Take your time, work with what he's doing. He's working with a boxing coach over the Hit Squad, Moses Flores, and obviously it showed on Saturday night.
Absolutely.
He knocked him out. He looked, and let me tell you something about Tyler Clausen. Tyler Clausen is the real deal, folks. I mean, Joaquin Buckley, who's a kid, you remember that name as well, won all 3 rounds with him and beat him in a split decision. Tyler Clausen's no slouch. Tyler Clausen's one of the best amateurs in the whole Midwest. And Aaron Highfield went out there and put his hands on him, and thank God to Moses Flores with a good right hand and put him on his butt.
Absolutely. Well, we're now joined by Mr. Highfield. Mr. Highfield, can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, good. Now, just talk about what a big win over Tyler Clausen that was for you over this past weekend.
It was a pretty big win. I was pretty happy with it. I spent quite a while warming up in the back and, just getting ready for the fight, and everything seemed to kind of fall into place and worked out pretty well, so I was pretty happy with it.
Aaron, tell me a little bit about what you knew about Clausen going in and what you expected.
I knew he was a pretty good wrestler. We had a similar opponent, Curtis Eller, and they had a pretty good war, and I saw Tyler, I could just tell from the fight that he was a really tough kid, and I've got to train with Joaquin too, and I knew Joaquin, I've gone with him, and even though he's only been in the sport for a little while, he's a really tough guy, and him and Tyler had a really awesome fight, so I knew that he was going to be a tough guy. So,
Aaron, I got to ask you, in a day and age where everybody, I think, Jesse and I live in this world where all the rage is MMA, and you're really on the upward slope, but yet you kind of are like, wait, let's pump the brakes here. I got a lot more amateur boxing to do. What made you decide to go that route?
I just kind of, I never had really trained one specific thing. I didn't have a background in anything. I just kind of started fighting MMA, so I kind of wanted to go back and, just do straight boxing for a little while, do straight kickboxing, go do some straight grappling tournaments and kind of get, just further develop myself a little bit more in them before I kind of make the jump to go pro. So.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah,
that you get it, Aaron.
Yep. Good for you.
I really mean that, because so many people want to go, I want to go pro, I want to go pro,
Yep.
I want to go pro, I want to go pro. And Aaron, do not change your mindset. The pros are going to be there for you, okay? Keep focusing on getting better at everything instead of going, okay, because let me tell you something. You're going to make $300 and $300, okay? You're going to make $600, $700 in your pro debut. That $700 will turn into $70,000 if you continue to do what you're doing and taking your time and working your way into the pro ranks. Keep doing what you're doing. What is your next step coming up?
I hadn't really planned it. We hadn't really decided yet. I still got the Shamrock belt. So I'd probably fight again for them, fight again for you guys again this year. Probably defend that. Maybe take another MMA or fight too this year. I was kind of wanting to enter the Golden Gloves tournament whenever it comes up next year. So, I just keep staying active, keep staying in shape.
Well, we definitely want you on December 7th show at River City, and we'll talk to Moses Flores a little bit more about that. But December 7th, we want you on. It's a great venue, and you start to showcase you a little bit more. You're a rising star. don't change what you're doing. Okay, let me just say that.
Thanks, Jess.
So if you say what is your strengths in the mixed martial arts overall? If you say you have your strengths, you have your weaknesses, what would you say your strongest suit is?
It's kind of hard to pin down. I'd probably say I think most of the time I use a combo of wrestling and boxing. I'd probably say I usually try to use wrestling definitely as my defense, and I think I kind of use my boxing as my offense. But been trying just to develop in everything. But I'd probably say those two are probably my strongest suits. So.
And then I got to follow up with the question: is you're working on something? What's the weakness? What's the thing that? I mean, you obviously want to be well-rounded. So what's the one thing that you're going to say? Okay, this is what I got to really pin down and do well.
I'd probably say I haven't ever really had to fight off my back. So just I guess keep developing my jits. I'd probably say the most. I've only been taken down once in a fight, but I'm gonna run into a Division I wrestler here soon, so I'm gonna, if I get taken down, I'm gonna have to know what to do. I'm gonna have to be able to be comfortable and not freak out. Because the first time I ever did get taken down, I turned around, gave him my back, and almost got choked out. So I need to be able to be relaxed, if that happens. So.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for your time today, Aaron.
Yep, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
Keep
no
doing
problem.
what you're doing, man. Keep it up.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
Aaron Highfill, coming off of a big win against Tyler Clausen. Good for him for not wanting to say, all right, I'm ready for the UFC, let's do it. And I mean,
Right.
he wants to do he wants to do amateur boxing. He wants to get in some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, and he's really wanting to hone that
He's a
craft.
kid. Like, listen, guys, if you're out there and you're just starting to get into the sport, this kid's the best 170 in the St. Louis metropolitan area, or in the Midwest, I would say. And you know what he says? Pump the brakes. Let me still get better at boxing. Let me pump the brakes. Get better at some kickboxing matches. Those pros are going to be there.
Oh, absolutely.
The pro ranks are going to be there.
Yeah, it's
and
not going anywhere.
You're going to make nickels on your first pro fight. So I can
That's
promise
right.
you that. Think long term. Don't think short term here, guys.
Which is hard to do. Well, we don't have to think too much longer. We have some great questions here. John B., baby. Is Johnny Hendricks the real deal, or will GSP be able to lie on him for 5 rounds?
Johnny Hendricks is a way better wrestler than George St. Pierre in a wrestling match. Now, I tell you what, in a mixed martial arts match, it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be a tough one to call. I'll tell you something, GSP does not seem that hungry to me, okay? And I'm a big GSP fan.
Yeah.
Johnny Hendricks got a dynamite in his right hand. GSP's been knocked out by Matt Serra, so you can't really say, hey, things happen.
Right.
Do I think that that GSP is going to get laid on, or is going to lay on him for 5 rounds? No, actually, I think GSP is going to pick him apart, and he's probably going to end up knocking Johnny Hendricks out. And people are like, really? I'm like, yeah, I think that he probably will. Johnny Hendricks I love Johnny Hendricks, and he loves Willie Nelson, so you got to love him. So, I mean, he's a better wrestler, but in a 5-round fight, I got to go with George St. Pierre.
That's interesting. I thought that was going to go the other way.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely. GSP is such a technician. It's fun to watch him work, and he'll find a weakness and expose it. Kevin G. asked, how much should Rory McDonald's lackluster performance hurt him? I still think he should be next in line for a title shot.
I think he's got to go through Robbie Lawler first. I think he's got to go through Robbie Lawler. I would love to see that fight happen. I'm excited because I was a huge, and I say was, a McDonald fan, but at the same time, here's the thing. He won the fight. The UFC said, listen, if you win the fight, you're going to get a title shot, but GSP's got to get through Johnny Hendricks. A lot of things got to happen to make it happen. But you know what? Penalize him. Penalize him for that performance. Make him fight one more time before he gets his other fight for the title, and make him fight Robbie Lawler. I want to see that fight.
That's a good penalty.
And you know what? Hey, listen, if you're going to go out and you're going to put fights like that on, and you're going to fight like that, okay, you know what? We're going to penalize you too, because you already penalized the fans. And I tell you what, go fight Robbie Lawler and let's see what's going to happen there.
I like that. I like that a lot. Steve T., which current title holder has the best chance to fall next?
All of them. It's called mixed martial arts. I mean, there's wearing 4-ounce gloves. I just said GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra. So, I mean, it all can happen with 4-ounce gloves. Which one can fall first? Boy, you put me on the spot here. Interesting.
I'm going with Chris Weidman. I think Anderson Silva's gonna. That happens.
Well, you know what? Who has the best chance? And I agree with you.
I'd say best chance.
Best chance. I would actually have to say Chris Weidman as well because we both. Did you pick Anderson? Didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did pick Anderson.
Okay, but the Weidman fight was actually starting. I felt was starting to turn towards towards Anderson. So I would actually say who has the best chance to fall. I would say Chris Weidman would be the next champion that has the biggest chance to fall next.
But
there's a lot of people that are saying Johnny Hendricks. So a lot of people are going with Johnny Hendricks on this
over GSP. I actually thought
question.
You were. That is a good question. Good job, Steve T. Travis R. Hey guys, love the show. Assuming that Big Country gets the victory at UFC 166, what's next for him, in your opinion?
Golden Corral.
I was going to say, him and Lou Pauly should be hanging out. the guy who reported 37 pounds overweight for weigh-in. I'd say a hot wing eating contest between Lou Pauly and Big Country. That would be, yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't, who knows? I mean, here's the thing, man, is Big Country is always exciting. He's going to be in your face. He's going to fight you hard. Man.
Overeem?
I was just going to say that. That was actually my choice.
Yeah.
I would say Alistair Overroyd. So you got Overeem. So you're going to have a...
That's like a skinny in shape big old guy and a big old fat out of shape guy fighting. I like that fight. I do like that. Well, that's good stuff. Hey, we always appreciate the fans getting in on this.
Hey, that was good.
We do. That was a great question, guys. John B., Kevin G., Steve T., and Travis R. We won't give out your full names. Great stuff, though. Hit us up, hitsquad@101sports.com. That's the email. Twitter, @hitsquad101 ESPN. Coming up next, we're going to run down the havoc that happened on Saturday night. You're watching 101sports.com.